Well, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It's really nice to have you here. I have got something very, very cool on the table. This is the Evo 2.0. It is a CKF designed by Rotten Designs, and it is a spectacular pocket knife. Oh, look, this thing is amazing. Now, this came to me by way of Lefty EDC. Thank you, Kevin. I'm not sure if I'm happy or mad about it because I'm not going to be able to have one of these. These are, of course, very expensive and very hard to find. But the opportunity to check one out, I just couldn't pass it up. So now I am sharing it with you so you can share my pain, unless you have one, in which case I'm just jealous. It is, well, just really an excellent pocket knife. Now, CKF, Custom Knife Factory, I have had a number of their knives over the years. The one that I have kept is this. This is the Peace Duke. It is M390. It is all titanium. It is just a stubby little kick-ass work knife. Totally different, of course, than the Evo 2.0. Different design, of course, but it's the build quality that really shows. CKF knives are actually made by in a Chinese factory. If you go online, you can discover that it is likely that they are made in the same factory as other Kevin John knives. I don't have any Kevin John knives here on the table with me at this time, but man, are they good too. So, you know, do as you will. Now, they're not entirely put together. They're machined in China, as far as I can tell. I could be wrong, but that's what everything seems to point at. And then they're put together and finished at the CKF place. So you get a little bit of everything, right? You get excellent CNCing, you get that nice finishing hand touches, you get a lot of extra work that goes into these things, and which is, I think, where the price comes from. These started at about $5.90. This one would have been more. Kevin's got a Zircotite clip, watch me go, on here, that I just love. It is black and gray. This whole thing is gorgeous. It's all carbon fiber on the show side, all titanium. It's actually that sort of wood grain titanium. I love this thing. I really do. It reminds me, not in a bad way or in a copycat way, but of this. This, of course, is my Strider SNG. They have a similar hand feel. They really, really do. I love this knife. But this thing. So what do you get? Well, you get a really nice thick slice of M390. As I said, you get all carbon fiber. You get all titanium. This, of course, is an aftermarket clip, as I said, but it is beautiful. You get exceptionally good ergonomics. This knife is so comfortable in hand. And look at this blade, right? Sort of reverse tanto. Nice belly. Lots of cutting area. And look at that hollow grind. This is a very slicey knife. God, it's well done. The blade stops, which nestle up against the titanium on this side, and the carbon fiber on this side, work exceptionally well. You can use those as thumb studs if you want. You can also deploy it with the deployment hole, which is really nice. And God, listen to that sound. This thing is just an absolute joy. It's not enormous, but it is hand filling. It's not. No, I know how I feel about this now. Kevin, I'm just mad at you because, God damn, this is a really nice knife. And I won't be having one anytime soon because money is a real thing. And also, CKF is notorious for small batches, right? So on the Peace Duke here, this is number 224 of, I think, about 250 that they made total. The Evo 2.0 here is 147 of probably 250 or maybe 300 of these. I mean, they just don't make many, which means if you don't get in on the jump and have the money on hand at that moment, you aren't getting one. Now, Rotten Designs has had a couple of variations of this. Is the 2.0. There's actually a 3.0 coming out, and they had the original, which was even bigger. Any of those would be excellent. I guess what I'm getting at with this at this point is if you've been looking for one of these, but you've been kind of waffling on the price, but if you have the money, get one. You will not be disappointed. Let's do some standard size comparisons. Here it is against our old friend, the Bug Out. As you can see, the Evo 2.0 is not much longer But man, it's just a bigger knife, right, all the way around. And you do, if we line this up right on that line, you get more cutting on the Evo, right, a little more handle. It's just a little bit bigger, which is really nice. Here it is against that SNG again. As you can see, these knives are very similar in overall dimension, although you do get a little more cutting on the Evo 2.0 because of the particular Strider mentality when it comes to blades. What else do we have? Just for fun, here it is against the Baby Bander, just because I think it's funny. Similar belly, right? No, I'm kidding. But it's a much bigger knife. Here it is against the Delica. Delica is, for many, a right-sized knife, and as you can see, the Evo is just a little bigger. Right? And for full-size knives, here it is against our old friend, the full-size Presidio 2. I really like this sort of pistol grip, lots of belly with a choil blade thing that they've got going on here. I've got two knives on the table that, I mean, if you like, here's the Kubi, right? This thing is just fantastic. Got a similar sort of mentality behind it, but of course this is much less expensive. And here it is against the Stitch. These knives are very similar. Stitch is a little bit bigger, but really similar mentality, right? Big forward choil, lots of belly, good cutting edge, lots of handle, right? This is a ridiculously good knife. It just is. Now, for some of you, that have wanted your Russian knives to discover that these are likely made at a Chinese factory, at least many of the parts are, I'm sorry. I don't mean to disappoint you. I don't have an issue with that. I know some of you may. In the end, this is a superb, if not very expensive knife. I'm guessing with this clip on here, this is probably a $750 knife. Like I said, I certainly can't afford one. But I wish I could. I really do. I want to hear that again. Oh, God. That is so good. The ergonomics on this thing are just ridiculous. Let's get the specs out of the way before I forget my mind entirely. You get 3 1/4 inches of cutting on a little over 3.5 inches of M390. The grip area, and we're just going to just include that forward choil because you have to, is 1, 2, 3, 4 full inches to this line, and then of course you get 3/4 of an inch to the back. So 4 3/4 total. But I mean, that's a lot of grip, right? And if you come back here, my pinky lives past that line, but it is still, you can still hang on to it this way very comfortably. The jimping is aggressive. It is very much in line with the sort of Strider jimping. Equally comfortable, equally grippy, not sharp. Well done. The M390 blade is hand finished. It is beautiful, right? And this one has a mirror edge on it. I'm not sure if that's factory or not. God, look at the way that just chopped. Oh, this thing is really nice. It's relatively light because of the carbon fiber on this side, I imagine. This is really nice. It is really nice. Let's go ahead and weigh it out. I find myself curious as to how much this thing weighs. The Evo 2.0. God, this is good. All right, let's see. We come in at 4.4 ounces. A little over that ounce per inch that a lot of EDC folks really look for, but by comparison, the Peace Duke here is 5.3 ounces, right? It's not a heavy knife, and particularly it's not heavy because of the way it's balanced. It really just sits in the hand really well. And Kubi makes a knife called the Monster Dog that is a completely different knife, but has kind of the same mentality behind the way you hold it and use it. So if you're looking for something like this but want to spend less than $200, don't forget the Monster Dog. You're not getting the same knife. Not even close. But you will get similar feel. I don't know how else to explain that. And that's where we're going to leave it. This is the CKF Rotten Designs Evo 2.0. It is a superb and beautiful pocket knife. I hope you've enjoyed this look at it. I know I have enjoyed having it on the table. I'm going to be very sad to see it go. Kevin, my man, thank you so much for this opportunity. I will put a link to his channel down in the description below. I hope you guys are having a great day. We'll see you next time.